serious contender in tonight's tournament. And also, Ajdin Riyad from Austria at the top half of the bracket, the only player that has previously been victorious in the Open Series. That came back on FIFA 20, so a new game this year, a new series of tournaments to get him involved in, and fingers crossed he can continue that momentum over to next year in 2021. But let's take a look at our first fixture, of course, of the evening. We'll do that as soon as it is ready. Before that, though, Richard, let's talk about the teams that are going to be in use today, and it's probably going to be a lot of France, which sort of begs to differ the questions of how do you use France and how do you play with France in the best way?
Yeah, absolutely. France were the dominant team in FIFA 20 and they're continuing that streak in FIFA 21. These are a couple of formations, or several formations I should say, that I have gone into the Richard Buckley laboratory and I've found different ways of playing with France. Not only the 4-2-3-1, which is the tried and trusted France formation, but a couple of variations on it as well. The 4-1-2-1-2 plays into your hands nicely. You can have players like Corentin Tolisso coming in as a central midfielder, and then a lot of pace up top. Ousmane Dembele alongside Kylian Mbappe as your two strikers, Ben Yedder at cam. A 4-2-2 plays nicely with France as well. Kingsley Coman, Anthony Martial, Griezmann, Mbappe, and Ben Yedder, all attacking options. And a 4-4-2, which you would probably say the second most used formation for pro players behind the 4-2-3-1 this year, with Kante and Pogba holding those centre mid positions. Out wide, you've got Coman and also Anthony Martial, and then up top, Ben Yedder and Mbappe. So France do also suit a 4-4-2 formation.
Yeah, they certainly do indeed, Richard. I mean, let's speak about another team that is very much used here, which is Liverpool. 4-2-3-1 again, another really popular formation. What Liverpool offers you is very good defensive midfielders. Fabinho, Thiago, Henderson, even Gini Wijnaldum could be a usable option there. You've got the 4-3-2-1. Something else that Liverpool offer you is very pacey wingers. Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, they're of course partnering up top with the likes of Bobby Firmino, Diego Jota. They are a stacked team. 4-1-2-1-2 if you prefer a more narrow formation, or if you like your classic football, the 4-4-2 is the one for you. And the reason why we've mentioned both of those teams, Richard, and both of those formations, is because our first game of the day is going to be France against Liverpool. Wow, I didn't expect to see that as our first game, Richard, because normally in the Open Series, if you are a familiar viewer, it's always France 99% of the time. But Liverpool, don't get me wrong, Liverpool this year on FIFA 21 have had so many upgrades, Richard, but they just still aren't France.
Yeah, winning the Premier League will grant you a lot of player upgrades in FIFA. It's a yearly cycle, so you sort of, what the developers will do, they'll look at what happened in the previous year, and then the players will get upgraded on their performances. But France seem to be the dominant force. However, Liverpool have been successful in previous monthly finals. And also, Brandon, monthly finals, we've had a Barcelona before. We've had different teams win when it comes down to the monthly finals.
Well, here we go then. We are officially underway for the December monthly finals. Our last broadcast for me and you, Richard, and the last Open Series tournament of 2020. A tournament that kicked itself off all the way back in the summer this year. Obviously, that was on FIFA 20, but this is our second finals on FIFA 21. It's going to be France kicking from left to right. That will be, of course, the King SD, the Spaniard. And it will be Ajdin 98 as Liverpool in that green from right to left. If you don't know the format for this tournament, of course, it's club teams only. There's no ultimate team on the line here. And also, it's a best of one. So if you win in 90 minutes, you will be into the semi-final and you will be into the cash prize, as that one just about sneaks into the back of the net for Liverpool. And it will be Bobby Firmino. That's something that we spoke about with this Liverpool team. They have got pace on the wings, but they've also got a deadly finisher in the Brazilian wearing that number 9 shirt.
Yeah, got a little fortunate, Firmino. The ball seemed to sort of bounce through the defender, but he's done very well to finish past the goalkeeper. I think Hernandez back there just wasn't strong enough in the tackle. It could have been Digne, actually. We talk about Digne quite a lot with France. He makes this France team somewhat usable. Fullbacks was an issue in FIFA 20, especially at the back, but with the addition of Digne and Phil and Mendy, certainly puts a plaster over the hole, shall we say, defensively. But Roberto Firmino slotting past the goalkeeper, and a couple of interesting picks in this Liverpool team as well. You see the Greek fullback, Tiskimas, for Liverpool instead of Trent Alexander-Arnold. at right back.
Well, yeah, the reason for that is, Rich, I'm just sort of having a quick scan across this Liverpool team. It looks like this chance does come in. Ben Yedder back to goal. Potential chance for an equaliser. Gets a fortunate deflection. Is Griezmann going to be onside? Yes, he will be, says the linesman. We'll talk about France in just a second. But it seems as if it's a midfield duo, Richard, of Gini Wijnaldum and Trent Alexander-Arnold. As you said, it's the Greek fullback that moves into right back. He has got pace. I mean, he's about 76 rated player, though. And then he's obviously using Andy Robertson out on the left. And then going forward off that, you're looking at Diego Jota in that cam role. So it seems Bobby Firmino is your out-and-out striker. Speaking of Jota, could it be 2-0? It will be. I don't know how he's using this Liverpool team, but at the moment, it all seems to be going well for him, Richard. A very different Liverpool lineup here, but 2 goals to the good in about 10 in-game minutes. He's having a field day.
Showing exactly how to use this Liverpool team. Jota in at cam, and then the pace out wide with Mane and Salah. Great finish from Diego Jota as well, smashing it past the goalkeeper. Great start here for Liverpool.
Yeah, just a really, really interesting one. I mean, don't get me wrong, on FIFA 20, when we had the Team of the Year promo, chance back to goal now for Mbappe. This needs to go, and it will. Lovely scoop turn. And an instant reply that France needed in this one. Just a quick word, sorry, on that Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's in sentiment. Don't get me wrong, when we saw him in a Team of the Year variant last year, when we saw him as a Team of the Season item on FIFA 20 and Ultimate Team we're talking about here, he was a player that could play CDM and he could, you know, fulfill those roles. This year came into the game as an 87 overall. Might have all the pace in the world of a fullback that you might desire, but I mean, certainly with the rating that he offers, Richard, he certainly can do a job in midfield.
Well, not only that, but Trent Alexander-Arnold offers you almost midfield-esque stats. Great dribbling, unbelievable passing as well, with the pace of a good central midfielder. He probably suits that role a little bit more than he does a fullback, in all honesty. We saw him got a shapeshifter foot item last year as well. I was fortunate enough to pack that, actually. And he actually came out of packs as a centre mid. So certainly he can fulfill that role, but with the addition of the Greek fullback in the summer, it now gives an option at fullback for Trent to move further forward. Quite innovative, really, quite creative. To spot that in the team and then say, you know what, I can work with that.
To flip it on its head on the other side, Richard, let's look at this France team quickly. It's, as you know, France were the team to use on FIFA 20. Offside trap played, but he's absolutely got that all wrong. It's Ben Yedder, he's onside, and that's going to be 2-2. Those are the mistakes that you simply cannot make in the Open Series EU monthly finals. An offside trap that was just timed completely wrong. And with Sam Ben Yedder timing his run to perfection to ensure he makes it 2-2. That was 2-0 up in this game for Liverpool in inside 15 minutes. 15 minutes later, Richard, we're all back to a 2-2 scoreline. And you would say, for the King SD, a clean slate in this one.
Yeah, 30 minutes gone. We've already had 2 goals for either team. A couple of well-worked goals, in all honesty, for Liverpool, and capitalising on a mistake there are France. Probably the best team, I would say, at capitalising on mistakes. When you look at the pace that they've got in that squad, Griezmann, Ben Yedder, and this man up top, Kylian Mbappe, he can make you suffer if you give him any sort of room.
I wanted a quick word on France. Obviously, they were the team to use in FIFA 20 in the PlayStation Open Series. They've continued to be the team to, of course, continue to use in FIFA 21. Why is that, here you ask? I mean, just look across the whole team. The squad depth that this team has, or this national team has, is absolutely fantastic. That goal could have been even better there from Sadio Mane, just over the bar of Hugo Lloris. But I mean, look, starting at the back, Hugo Lloris, very solid goalkeeper. You go forward off that, you've got the likes of Raphael Varane, Clement Lenglet, Ferland Mendy, he was introduced into the game. That's an awful mistake, well recovered there by Raphael Varane. And then you go forward off that, you've got it's the best CDM partnership in sort of this club mode that we're in at the moment with the PS4 Tournament Open Series. And that is Pogba and Kante, the perfect CDM partnership. A player that can go forward in Paul Pogba, and then, of course, that player that's just the ideal type of a box-to-box midfielder in N'Golo Kante. And who have you got forward after that? You've got Martial, again, introduced into the team on FIFA 21. The likes of Griezmann, the likes of Ben Yedder, a five-star player. Mbappe, the star of the show. And you've even got a couple of options off the bench, which really can come into this team and can just really spice things up for you, including Kingsley Coman.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't need to say anything else about that France team. He gives a real good rundown of all the players involved there. One thing that I've seen so far in this match,